Oh my god, who the hell cares?
So, understandably enough, if anybody saw the Wrestle Kingdom pay-per-view that I bet very little, especially in the western side of the world, I got to watch it. Sasha Banks appeared and faced former WWE wrestler Kairi Sane for the New Japan Women's Championship. I don't know. I think she interfered in the match to show up, and we know that's probably just a marketing ploy. Is like biggest free agent on the market, AEW. Holy, that's honestly it, because there's no extensive module that's going to make Banks that much of a primordial draw, especially like over not that much information over her release clause because she's still under contract technically speaking. With her looking like that chick from Shark Tale, whoever still remembers that movie with Will Smith in it, and with the same BS like underage Goshi type female entrance that she got. At least the name value exceeds what other drawing ability that Sasha Banks has, other than the hardcore WWE fan base. Because I would thought the WWE umbrella Banks wouldn't be as big of a name to even put around even a smaller federation, except to the starting point of New Japan's like I think recently bringing up that they now have a women's division that I bet New Japan already has very little concern over. And I went over this. I didn't want to particularly go over this over my channel so I could try to transition a bit out of wrestling, but every time they want to bring up some type of perennial fake news to a show on Access that barely gets 100K viewership a week, and over the extension of watching the same damn main event to guys that couldn't draw outside the country. I'm not saying that New Japan doesn't have good wrestlers. No one's denouncing that. It is just such a lack of a pulse of making anything feel eye-catching every week than any other thing off Asian media can do, like what K-dramas do. If you guys ever watch anime, music videos, other celebrities, game show, like any type of medium. I'd rather talk about Japanese culture than professional wrestling or professional wrestling as a whole, and try to think Banks is just gonna primarily try to get at least an extensive time over on New Japan, other than just face value like what Chris Jericho did, just fighting in a couple shows and then he's a part of AEW. What do you guys are expecting out of all this? Because I wouldn't care, other than the face value seeing Sasha Banks shows up on New Japan on their biggest show. And that's the technical standpoint. And now I'm hearing over on Swerve, I didn't get this from any other medium because I was really trying to not focus on wrestling, that they're trying to assimilate, try to introduce women's tag titles already to the lack of TV time already and lack of attention or lack of interest into this women's division they got of. I forgot who was even. I think Tony Storm or I think Jamie Hayter's now the AEW Women's Champion, and yet there's barely any storylines to bring any attention either to all of this unless it's Britt Baker. Honestly, and Banks, if she's there, she would at least get some face value there because people know who Sasha Banks is, at least in the wrestling sphere of things. She looks like she has X Factor. She doesn't talk like it though. She has the presence of somebody that looks important, even though her other ring name, Mercedes Monet, sounds like a hooker, a girl from the, that one street rat chick that you probably lost your V card to behind the school, and you still don't tell your friends about it because you're still embarrassed. That's literally Sasha Banks, and I'd rather call it that than Mercedes. Sounds like some trees from Freeport. But besides that, like, it's just not really a factor that, name value is another thing that New Japan or AEW needs. Just try to pay attention to it and make it more interesting so we can get some of the guys over. If Banks, like, goes over on New Japan for an expensive, it's just for a temporary standpoint unless her contract expires with WWE, or even if she's willing to, dependent, over the time of, her distance away from the WWE, as well as Naomi. Nobody's talking about her. That was the time when Vince was still under the umbrella of WWE until his brief release, his own departure from the company over PR. And as soon as Triple H comes in demand, we're probably going to see Banks back or Naomi back over to the standpoint of always getting guys that can't get over by themselves. So they're going to go back to the umbrella where they were actually, in a smaller medium. So that's why Triple H is getting so many guys back. Besides that, the shows still stink. But you guys tell me down below how you feel about Banks going to New Japan. Thanks for watching the DST show. Like, comment, subscribe. That's it for me. I'm going to take Tylenol.